Do you have someone? Do you have someone in your life that you really love? Yeah, I'm talking about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your significant other, your partner, your fantasy, your work wife. Yeah, right. Whatever. Let's narrow it down to one person, because there is that special thing in life here on earth that if you could find one person, and that one person is taking care of most of your needs. The unfortunate thing about life right now is that we expect that one person to take care of all of our needs. Today in America, I don't know about the other places, but I'm living in America and I'm used to this culture. I'm kind of used to the movies, whatever else is going on, and I'm finding that we expect our partner or our spouse, our boyfriend, our girlfriend to meet all of our needs. They have to be our best friend. They have to be our ultimate sexual fantasy, our actual love, all of the time. And if for a moment, just a moment, they aren't fulfilling all of these needs, then we start looking for somebody else? Is that what's happening? So to do it here in the car.
What if we could harness the rhythm of music to help plants communicate with us? Imagine a space filled with lush greenery, where each plant is connected to a unique musical note, creating a natural symphony. In a world woven with the whispers of ancient wisdom, imagine stepping into a realm where crystals pulsate with vibrant energies, each gemstone a keeper of secrets and spells, waiting to be unleashed. Picture a moonlit garden where amethyst clusters glimmer softly, unrevealing their power to calm the mind and elevate the spirit. Here, illuminating quartz acts as a bridge to clarify, amplifying intentions and illuminating the shadows. And as you hold a shimmering emerald, feel its lush vitality sweep through you, connecting your heart with the universe, deep-rooting love for all beings. In this enchanted space, practitioners gather, their fingers dancing over cool surfaces of lapis and obsidian, conjuring spells of protection and insight as they weave together layers of intention. Each crystal vibrates with unique frequency. It glows, a beacon of purity, cleansing the aura, charging the soul with renewed vigor. The air shimmers with energy as voices blend, humorous incarnations. One can
Stop
almost
scrolling.
the
Rest
heartbeat
here
of the
with
earth
this woman
echoing
for a while.
alongside the rhythm of
I
magic.
know you want to know
As you
what she
delve
wants.
deeper, every moment
I can't
becoming
tell you that.
A
Only
story,
she can.
A custodian of healing, empowerment,
And you'll have to listen
transformation.
for a while.
Crystals transcend.
But I am going to show
mere
you her dreams.
ornamentation. They are storytellers, sculpting the way we
We'll
connect
journey
and grow,
deep
transcending the
into
mundane.
the depths
This is a
of
journey
her
through
subconscious.
the cosmic dance of atoms and light.
If
where
you
every
listen
crystal
closely
is
and long
a
enough,
trusted
we will
companion,
uncover
guiding
her
you
essence
towards your highest self, uncovering
and a little bit of
divinity
yours
that resides in
and
every
an echo of
heartbeat,
mine.
every breath, and every sparkling
These
possibility
are the dream
yet
tunnels.
untold.
They contain the meaning of all the dreams.
This is just
And we don't all
for fun.
speak the same language.
I'm going to tell you my
We
theory
might all use the same
on
words,
ghosts.
but we don't speak the same
Wait,
language.
It's not a theory. It's a hypothesis. And some people don't know the difference between the word hypothesis and theory. If you follow me, I'll tell you that later. Well, let's just go back to having a little fun and talking about ghosts. If you've got some old place that has a lot of energy, I'm talking about, maybe an insane asylum, maybe a prison, maybe just some king's castle, But you take a building or a place. It could be a forest, any area, place that's not too big, where a lot of energy happens, a lot of emotion and energy. So energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. If you have a sane asylum where crazy people, that's a broad term, where people who are deemed abnormal by the society they live in, they're just a little bit different, are taken to this place, and they're people that might already be suffering a little bit, but they're definitely made to suffer more in this place. That suffering creates energy, and that energy is not going to be destroyed. It's only going to change form. So in this place, when that energy changes form, it's going to change form to coming out of them as an emotion and going into this place. It's going to go into the walls, it's going to go into the curtains, into the windows, into the glass. Have you ever been in an old building that has glass that's kind of warped a little bit? You take a window pane that's like hundreds of years old, and the sun, the heat of the sun has shined through that window for hundreds of years. And on the inside of that window, there's been a ton of emotion, a lot of suffering. And that energy, it's got to go somewhere. That heat from the sun baking on that glass and that emotion from the person who's suffering on the other side of it, where's that energy going to go? It's going to go into that glass, it's going to go into the walls, into the floor. And then later, after that person's not in that building anymore, all of that emotion, all of that energy is still in that area. And if you go in there, somehow you're going to see that emotion played back to you. Kind of like if the walls were the surface of a vinyl record, and when that person is expressing the emotion, if that person is yelling and screaming next to the walls that are like a vinyl record, some of their yelling, some of their screaming is going to get scratched into the walls. It's going to get scratched into that glass. And next time a little breeze comes blowing by that wall, by that glass, it's going to play back the yelling and the screaming. Take a look at like a cemetery. All of those headstones, they're not smooth. When the wind blows across one of those headstones, it's going to play back a message for you. And if you listen really closely, you might be able to hear it. This is kind of like one of my ideas where ghosts come from. It's a playing back of that emotion from a lot of energy stored up in one place. I'm curious what your thoughts on this might be.
In celebration of tomorrow, December 3rd, the day that the aliens are supposed to attack our government, I've decided to begin reading my copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Because as someone who has lived through Jesus Will Return in 1988, the Satanic Panic, the world's going to end in 1999 because all the computers won't be able to write the year 2000, and the Mayans have written the calendar that says that the world is going to end in 2012, and COVID, and all of that. I am not really that affected by what's supposed to happen tomorrow when the sky will fill with spaceships and the aliens will attack our government. But I've got my copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which proudly stamps "Don't Panic" on it. And if you haven't read this book, you really should. But I'm going to go ahead and take this moment to give you my hypothesis, because as coming through all of those previous events, I've known the meaning of the word hypothesis. And I'm not going to say theory, because this is not a theory, because it hasn't been tested, hasn't been established any reliability of proof. It can't be repeated or anything like that. So this is just a hypothesis on aliens. Now, the difference between a